Hi. Okay, so today we worked on a packet and we started in class going through the different techniques you can use to divide. So the packet looks like this. And the ones that I've circled we actually did in class, and the ones that I have stars on are the ones that they have for homework. So we did 1 and 2 in class, and we drew pictures, so they should have pictures drawn. We had number sentences, and we wrote incomplete sentences. And then on this page they were supposed to be doing number 4, which starts with Jolene. So Jolene has 6 boxes of granola bars for herself and the 7 other girls in her chess club. Each box contains 4 granola bars. If shared equally, what fraction of a box will each girl get? So we talked about the key being what's being shared. That is the numerator or the dividend, the thing that's getting broken up. So if we read that, Jolene has 6 boxes of granola bars for herself and the 7 other girls. So the 6 boxes of granola bars are what's being shared. And each granola bar box contains 4 granola bars. So in total, how many granola bars do we have? If we have 6 boxes with 4 granola bars in each box, that's pretty much saying that we have a total of 24 granola bars. And it says if shared equally, and shared equally is like that dead giveaway that we are dividing. What fraction of a box will each girl get? Now remember, it's Jolene and 7 other girls. So that's a total of 8 girls sharing these granola bars. So what we did in class was we would have drawn a picture, and so we have those 6 boxes of granola bars. So it depends on how the kids want to look at this. Right? The only thing is, to see what's the problem, is that there's only 4 granola bars in each box, right? So there's how many granola bars that are all together. So some students might look at this like, well, there's 24 granola bars all together. So they're going to do 24 divided by 8 girls, because 24 granola bars are being shared equally amongst 8 girls. So this is the same as 24 eighths, right? However, though, the thing is that if shared equally, what fraction of a box will each girl get? So if we have 8 girls sharing a box, and there's 4 granola bars in that box, technically aren't they splitting those granola bars in half? We've got 6 boxes divided by 8 girls, so they're each going to get 6/8 or 3/4 of a box. So it depends on how they want to take on this. So they need to draw a picture, and they do need to write their number sentence, and they need to use Kita to answer that. So then we turned over to this back page, and it was strictly just looking at using fraction notation for division. So they are supposed to do number 2 with Rita. We did number 1 and 3, so you could look at those for examples to help them through. But it pretty much is giving you a problem with something they're sharing, how many people or things are sharing that. So it would be what they're sharing divided by how many are sharing it. And how that becomes a fraction is that your dividend is your numerator, because it's what goes inside the house. It's what you say first. It doesn't come out of your mouth first when you say a fraction or when you say the division problem. So, for instance, we had said Jason made pan-sized pancakes for breakfast. Usually his 2 brothers each eat 5 pancakes. That's kind of okay. Because Jason made them so big, though, his 2 brothers equally split 5 pancakes. So what's being shared? 5 pancakes. How many people are sharing them? 2 brothers. So we're doing 5 divided by 2, not vice versa. 5 pancakes being shared equally amongst 2 brothers. So then what would that look like as a fraction? Well, 5 divided by 2 looks like this as a fraction. 5 divided by 2, because I have taught them since day 1 when we talked about today we have in our counter math that the vinculum in a fraction means to divide. This is 5 divided by 2. Okay, so then we said that each brother ate 2.5 pancakes. And that work was already done. They already did that. And they're expected to do the problem with Rita on this page. So then we flipped over and we did 15 together. And they're expected to do 13 and 14 on their own. It's the same concept of, you know, there's something being shared by so many people or things. So number 13 says, Carlos was having a party. He had 5 large granola bars to share equally among the 8 boys at the party. How much of a granola bar will each boy get? They must like granola bars, huh? So 5 granola bars are being shared equally among 8 boys. So when you do the 8 boys, since it specifically says 8 boys, so we're assuming that Carlos is either a part of that or he's not getting any granola bars. So 5 granola bars being shared by 8 boys equals 5 vincula make, right? 5 divided by 8 equals 5/8. So each boy will get 5/8 of a granola bar. Talk about being stingy. Go buy some more granola bars, right? Alright, so I actually did number 13 with you, pretty much. And so now you need to do 14. And we're going to move on to the next page. So we did 16, 17, 18, and 19 in class together. The kids did really well with that. They were excited. And so then they were supposed to do 20 and 21 on their own tonight. So 20 says, Noreen said that picture A shows 3/4. Milton says that picture B shows 3/4. With whom do you agree? Explain. Use the value of the whole in your explanation. Okay? So a whole means, you know, one whole piece. So picture A, if you see it, it's lightly shaded. There is a box that's split into 4ths and one is shaded. Picture B, or picture A has another box, sorry. Each box has 4ths and each box has one of those 4ths shaded. So it's pretty much like a 4th plus a 4th plus a 4th. Right? Picture B has 3 holes. Each are cut into 4ths. One box is completely shaded. Another box is completely shaded. So that'd be 4/4, 4/4. And then this other one of those 4ths is shaded. So you guys need to decide who's right, Noreen or Milton. Number 21 says, write a number story for the sentence, number sentence. 8 divided by 3 equals. Draw a picture to show how you can solve your number story. A number story is just you're making up the problem. You know, in the past, the past pages that we did, Marta needing 6 bottles, small bottles of juice, Shane and his pizza, Dawn and Darlene, Jolene and her boxes of granola bars, Jason and his pan-sized pancakes. Those are all number stories. So they want you to create a number story for 8 divided by 3. And they want you to draw a picture to show how you can solve your number story, just like we did for those first few pages. That's why they didn't go all the way across here. Here's for your picture. Here's where you write your number story. Then we flipped it over and we did 1 and 2 in class. We took the pictures and cut them into what they asked us to and saw how many pieces we made. So we discovered that 4 divided by 1/3 was 12, and that 2 divided by 1/4 was 8. And we didn't do 3 and 4 in class, and you know they're not doing those for homework either. We're skipping down to number 5, and it says when you divide a whole number by a unit fraction. Remember, unit fractions when the numerator is 1. So that's what we did in 1 and 2. A whole number was 4 for number 1, and we divided it by 1/3. That was a unit fraction of thirds. In number 2, the whole number was 2, and we divided it by the unit fraction 1/4. So we did that twice, and we actually did it more than twice. But they're asking you, is the quotient larger or smaller than the whole number that you started with? And to explain why, you know, what you got and why you got that. So in number 1, we started with 4, and we divided it by 1/3, and the quotient was 12. And in number 2, we did 2 divided by 1/4, and the quotient, because the quotient is the answer to a division problem, was 8. So, you know, use that knowledge to help you answer number 5, because that's all they had to do on this page for homework was number 5. So then we flip over, and it's this hand-drawn page for me. And it says division and fractions. Example, 5 people share 3 donuts. How much does each person get? So 5 people are sharing 3 donuts. So 3 donuts are what's being shared, not 5. 3 donuts divided by 5 people. It means that I need to cut each donut into fifths. That's where they were having problems. They wanted to just like chunk it all together. But I mean, if 5 people are sharing 3 donuts, then technically 1 donut needs to be cut into fifths, the next donut's cut into fifths, and the third donut's cut into fifths. And then person 1 gets a piece from one donut A, person 1 gets a donut piece from donut B, and person 1 gets a donut piece from donut C. So that's kind of showing you how that works, and that the problem is 3 divided by 5, and the answer is 3/5 in fraction form, and that's what each person will actually get of the donuts. They'll get 3/5 of the 3 donuts, because they'll get 3 pieces from each of the donuts. 1 piece from each donut, sorry, 3 pieces total, and the pieces are fifths. So number 1 says 8 people share 5 pizzas. So what's being shared? The 5 pizzas, not the 8 people. 5 pizzas are being shared. So that's the numerator, or that's the dividend. And then how many people are sharing that? 8 people. So I need to cut each one of the pizzas into eighths to show sharing them. And so you can draw the picture, and then you write the problem. What is the problem? That's right, it's 5 divided by 8, and then you need to write that in fraction form as an answer. But your picture should show not how much that you get total. Like, here's the person, just look at that total. It should show that you are taking 5 pizzas, 5 circles, and you are splitting each circle into 8 pieces. And then person 1, person 2, person 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gets those pieces. And then in the next pizza, person 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gets that pizza, and so forth. Just like the donuts, pretty much. So then the last page right here, and we talked about A and B in class, how we use the number line, because we actually did a number line for some previous problems, the 4 divided by 1/3 and the 2 divided by 1/4. So here is a number line, and I am taking 3 and dividing it by 1/6. So I want to know how many sixths are in the number 3. So I make a number line from 0 to 3, and I of course have 1 and 2 as benchmarks. So then I just cut each whole up into sixths. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, 7/6, or 6/6, 7/6. Then I thought, wait a minute, 6/6 was a whole. Okay, so that should have been where 1 was. And then I keep going, and I realize that, whoa, 12/6 is 2, because 12 divided by 6 is 2. So then I keep going, and by the time I get to 3, I'm at 18 sixths. So how many sets of 1/6 are in 3? 18 sets. So the answer to 3 divided by 1/6 is 18. So you can see in B, where I started using that pattern, I noticed that, you know, all the whole numbers is, what divided by this number is going to give me this whole number. So like 7 divided by 1/4, so I'm cutting each whole number into fourths. So on 1, it would require 4/4 to make a whole. In 2, it's going to require 8/4, because 8 divided by 4 is 2. And then 3 is 12/4, so you can see where I've tapered off counting by all the fourths, and I'm just going to the whole numbers and saying, okay, well, 12/4 is 3, 16/4 equals 4, 20/4 equals 5, and so forth until I get to the number 7. I realize that there should be 28/4 to create 7. So 28 is how many sets of 1/4 there are in 7 wholes. So 7 divided by 1/4 equals 28, and by now some kids were starting to realize, oh, I see something happening over and over again. So we're skipping number 2 right now because we haven't done a lot of these problems, because sometimes it takes a lot of these problems lined up for them to see exactly what's happening. Sorry about that. So the kids were supposed to do number 3 and number 4 on their own. So I'll get started with number 3. So number 3, it's 5 divided by 1/3. So I'm going to go from 0 all the way to 5. And of course there'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And each one of these is going to be split into thirds. So 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So then, wait, they're thirds. So how many thirds need to make 6? Or 2, I mean, sorry, 6 thirds. I'm already answering my own question. How many thirds are needed to make 3 whole? 9 divided by 3. To make 4, I need to do 12 divided by 3. To make 5, I need 15 divided by 3, because 15 divided by 3 equals 5. 15 thirds. So I have 15 sets of 1/3 in 5. So 5 divided by 1/3 equals 15, but they have to show this number line. That's what the directions say. Divide. Show your work on a number line. Okay? So they do need to do that beginning part, showing that they're counting by thirds, and then they can start going if they realize the pattern. If they don't realize the pattern, then they need to actually have 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 4/3, 5/3, 6/3, 7/3, 8/3, 9/3, 10/3, 11/3, 12/3, 13/3, 14/3, 15/3. It's hard to say after a while. And so they need to do number 4 as well on their own. And that is it for tonight. There were only 10 total problems for them to do. So have a good night.